So, what can two old stories, one about a magical train and the other about a simple umbrella, possibly teach us about the real world power of innovation? Well, the answer might just surprise you. Okay, let's start off with a little puzzle. At first glance, what could these two things possibly have in common? I mean, you have this fantastical, magical train and then a plain old bamboo umbrella. They seem like they're from completely different worlds, right? But as you're about to see, their stories share a powerful and really surprising secret. Our journey begins with two men, Nandu and Harya. And this title really says it all, a dream, a necessity. It perfectly captures the situations they're in. See, each of them is standing at a crossroads, facing a challenge that feels just impossible. For one guy, it's about a lifelong dream that's always just out of reach. And for the other, it's the crushing, everyday weight of just trying to get by. So first up, meet Nandu. This man is an amazing woodworker, a real artist. But here's the thing, his own talent has kind of become a trap. He's so buried in orders for doors and cupboards that his real dream, becoming a train conductor, is just slipping through his fingers. And then you have Hurriya. He's a basket weaver, and for him, the struggle is so much more immediate. It's about the daily grind, just trying to provide for his family. Now, Nandu's dream isn't just ignored, it's straight up ridiculed, out loud, in public. When he finally gets the courage to mention taking the conductor's exam, a woman just scoffs at him, telling him to stick to what he knows, to stick to woodworking. You can just imagine how much that stings. It's this public put-down designed to make him feel small. Harya's struggle, on the other hand, is much quieter, but it's no less painful. It's monsoon season, and all he can do is watch his little boy, Gopal, stare out the window, unable to go to school because of the pouring rain. Why? Because they can't even afford an umbrella. For Harya, this is just a gut-wrenching moment. He feels like a failure as a dad, unable to give his son the one tiny thing he needs to get an education. And it's right here, in these moments of public shame and quiet desperation, that something absolutely incredible happens. A spark ignites in both of them. This is where their stories take a huge, unexpected turn. We're talking about the spark of innovation. So, instead of letting that woman's words crush him, Nandu gets angry. And then that anger turns into an idea, a huge idea. He decides he's going to turn that humiliation into fuel. If they won't let him drive a train, fine. He'll build one himself, using the very skills she just mocked him for. And what a project it becomes. For 10 solid days, he pours everything he has into building this perfect wooden train car. But it's still just a shell, right? He needs an engine. He looks everywhere, scrounging through junkyards, and finally finds one at the bottom of a pond. And this is where things get a little bit magical. A spirit awakens inside the engine, and suddenly, his wooden train has the power to travel anywhere in just 1 minute. Now, Harai's big breakthrough is totally different. It's much quieter, more internal. In this moment of total desperation, watching his son, he just prays for an answer. And a voice, maybe from above, maybe from deep inside himself, tells him exactly what he needs to hear. The solution is in your own hands. And suddenly, it's like a light bulb goes off. Of course, he's a master craftsman. He works with bamboo every single day. He can make an umbrella. And this brings us to the next chapter. Success and social service. This is where their stories get really powerful. Because, you see, these weren't just personal wins. Both of these men took what they created and used it to completely change their communities. Their success wasn't just for them. It ended up being for everyone. I mean, think about it. Nandu could have used this magical, super fast train to become rich beyond his wildest dreams. But he didn't. Instead, he turned it into a public service. He started giving free rides to the poor and basically became a 1-minute ambulance for the entire village, literally saving lives. He didn't just become a train conductor. He became a local hero. And what about Harya? Well, his humble little bamboo umbrellas catch the eye of a businessman. He is so impressed by the simple, eco-friendly design that he places a massive order and gives Harya an advance of 100,000 rupees. I mean, that's a truly life-altering amount of money. And this, right here, is the real measure of their success. Harya doesn't just get rich. He lifts his entire village up with him, creating jobs for all his friends and neighbors. His umbrellas go on to become a worldwide sensation. Nandu's train becomes the absolute lifeline of his community. And in this incredible act of grace, he even forgives the woman who tried to crush his dream and offers her a job. Amazing. So that brings us to our final section, lessons for the modern age. What can these two really old stories possibly teach us here and now in our world? Let's break down the biggest takeaways from these incredible tales. What Nandu and Haria did is a perfect example of something we call grassroots innovation. Think about it. They didn't have big research grants or fancy high-tech labs. All they had was a problem that needed solving, a deep personal drive to solve it, and the skills and materials that were already right in front of them. This is that secret connection we talked about at the beginning. It's innovation that doesn't come from the top down, but bubbles up from the ground up. This line from Haria's story really gets to the heart of it all. The solution to my problem is in my own hands. It's such a powerful idea, right? It's this huge reminder that our own empowerment starts with us. The tools we need to fix our biggest problems are so often the skills we already have, just waiting to be looked at in a new way. So we want to leave you with this question. Think about a challenge you're facing in your life right now, big or small. Looking at the skills you have, the resources around you, what's the umbrella or the train that you could build? Because the solution might be closer than you think. It might just be right there in your own hands.